To any Kidderminster fans who are watching this video, I'd just like to begin this by saying a big well done to you on your performance. I know that it wasn't the result that you were hoping for. It wasn't the result that seemed to be in your favour. But either way, you did yourselves very proud. Credit to you. Really lovely fans. Really lovely club by the sound of things. And I could tell that the whole town's very proud of its team for putting up a real good fight and going right down to the bitter end in this FA Cup tie. So, all Kidderminster fans, like I say, you guys should be proud of yourselves and your team, and the players should be proud too. As for West Ham, okay, it finished Kidderminster Harriers 1, West Ham United 2, West Ham's through into the next round. Okay, that is important, but let's not use this as a silver lining. Let's actually break down this game. Okay, we deserve nothing. We look like the non-league team. No disrespect to Kidderminster, but we look like the non-league team. We couldn't connect passes, we gave the ball away. We tried to sit back and it didn't work and let them come on to us, and it just didn't work because they ended up getting a goal out of it. Our crossing was woeful. Individuals were woeful. I'm going to say who in this video. You can probably guess one in particular that's going to get mentioned if you watch the game. And it's a bit bad that we had to rely on Rice and Bowen to win the game for us against a opposition that is 6 leagues lower. It shows how important Rice and Bowen are to our team. But we had to bring them on at half-time because we were struggling against Kidderminster. Really? Really glad we signed that other strike. Oh, wait, no, we didn't. By the way, it doesn't matter because actually we had other defensive options too. But you signed a No, we didn't. Yeah. So, let's get on to the team lineups before I go off on a tangent. 8 changes were made. Full starting lineup was Areola in goal, Fredericks right back, Zuma and Diop as the centre backs with Johnson as left back, Kral and Noble as the centre mid / defensive mid, Bowen up top, Vlasic in the number 10, and Yarmolenko and Ben Rama on the wings. And actually, that wasn't a bad side to put out. It really wasn't. It was actually a decent side because Boys had put out all of his experienced players while throwing in players who needed more game time. But he put out all the professionals. What do you think of that anyway? And it wasn't a bad team on paper. For the game, what was really respectful, that was a minute of silence for Isla Caton. And both sets of fans came together to say rest in peace to her. West Ham had possession very early on and actually had over 60% possession for the majority of this game. In fact, nearly all of regulation time. But it was, however, Kidderminster that had the first decent chance. Sam Austin struck at Areola, who was forced to save. Loads of crosses were just going out of play. And it seemed to me Areola found it difficult to deal with crosses. He was awkward with them. He didn't know where to catch them or to punch them away. And he was trying to make the decision at the last second. Decision-making is a big part of being a goalkeeper, and he was doing it too late on, and it nearly cost errors. Our crossing was woeful into the box. Yarmolenko was like 2 left feet, as he has been all the time. Gets the ball on that wing, flippy-tappy-tappy, loses it. Alex Kral, annoying me. And he's another player I'm going to talk about in this. Kral, everyone's been saying, give him a chance, give him a chance. I can see why, based on today's result and the performance, namely, why David Moyes benches Kral all the time. Kral lacked composure, he lacked concentration, he lacked any sense of direction in the game. He gave the ball away twice in that first half. Kidderminster was having the better chances. A lower league team was having the better chances. And rightly so, Kidderminster ended up going 1-0 up. Wasn't even a shock. It came from a drop ball. I think Areola drops it onto Diop's head. Diop flicks it away. And then Kidderminster just fire it in off of the rebound. I couldn't believe it. Well, I could believe it, but I couldn't believe it at the same time. And it was just typical that was going to happen. Typical stuff. You know what I'm saying? Penny was the player who scored it. 1-0 to the home side. They had better chances and better efforts. They were actually leading in shots on target. West Ham didn't even have a shot on target in that first half. I think Kidderminster had about 3. Diop defended poorly. Yarmolenko's crossing was bad. No intent with the forward passes. No desire, no passion at all. Half-time break couldn't have come soon enough, and I wanted Moyes to give him a screaming at. Half-time changes needed. Kral, Diop, Yarmolenko off. And maybe even Fredericks off. Because he was bad. And everyone's, yet again, like, oh, Fredericks is a good right-back option. What happens is with our players is they end up having one good game and all's forgiven. Everyone's going to just rave about Fredericks pocketing Grealish last year. He's useless at defending. He really is. He's not really a right-back. So why did he start? No idea. But changes were made. Declan Rice came on. Off came Kral. Good sub. Well done to Moyes for doing that. Diop off, Dawson on. Again, good. Bowen was denied twice in quick succession. West Ham livened up a little bit in that second half, but it wasn't great. Still not enough. No passes connected. Cresswell came on for Johnson as well. And Suchok came on for Noble. We were closed down a lot. It wasn't looking great. Gave the ball away again. Kidderminster went the other way. And they just tried to keep the ball, I think. They did a mix of keeping the ball and just getting it back off of West Ham and going in the other direction. This is the first one from the Anvil. And I have to make a massive confession. I'm a very bad game reporter. Because of the time difference in Camden, and because West Ham were doing me head in, I went back to bed. And then my phone buzzed. And I find out that West Ham has scored in the 90 plus first minute. And I'm like, "Ke? What?" Because I'm half asleep. I've seen the replay of the goal. Pablo Fornals had come on earlier in the game for Nikola Vlasic. Fornals, lovely ball to Declan Rice, who advances into the box, tries to get the ball past the defender, does so, fires it into the roof of the net, and does his Michael Jackson celebration with Ben Rama flipping like that. And I mentioned body language in that David Moyes interview. I noticed other body language in this. Notice the reaction to that goal and the difference between Fornals and Yarmolenko's reactions. Fornals is like that. He's really proud to have given that goal. Yarmolenko's like, nothing to him. But we finally got that goal. Heartbreak for Kidderminster, who were looking to go through in regulation time, but West Ham had other ideas. Declan Rice is worth billions to us. Not even millions, he's worth billions to West Ham. We're so lucky to have him. And he is really a game changer, but still, the fact we had to bring him on to change the game against a lower league team is not really a good thing. I don't care that he got the goal. I mean, I'm happy he got the goal, but still, why are we bringing him on against this lower opposition? Why couldn't we do it with our lower players? You win these kind of games by putting on your lower players and relying on them. And we didn't do that. So it was extra time. And I was still feeling like tired, so I went back to sleep. And I'm glad I did, because I only had 4 hours sleep. I stayed and watched Netflix last night, which was stupid of me. Yarmolenko dived, apparently, which was absolutely embarrassing. Just rip his contract up. I've had enough of him. I've had enough of Yarmolenko. Does nothing. Contributes nothing to this team. And he's our highest earning player. And he's 32 years old. When his contract's done in the summer, I will love it. Get him off the wage bill and get him out of the club. Does nothing. Zuma came back into the team. He hurt his knee in this game. It looked like an ACL, but he carried on. I bet he was in pain. But this is why we should have signed another centre-back. This is why we should have done things in January. You know what I'm saying? We should have done things in January. We should have signed players to give us something until the end of the season, but no. And I think Zuma probably getting hurt is just karma. That's his way of saying, well, you should have damn well signed players, shouldn't you, David? That's what it's like. So I then went back to sleep. Dreaming peacefully, la-di-da-da. Phone buzzers. 2-1 West Ham. I'm like, what? What? Oh. That's me pretending to wake up and realising West Ham were 2-1 up. And I was like, what? How? How have we S-housed this? I don't know what to think. I was happy. I mean, Jarrod Bowen with a tap-in added time at the end of extra time. I mean, it won us the game, but it's unacceptable. How we got to that position and that win was by fate, luck and chance. And I think we are too reliant on Rice and Bowen. We're not really a team unit, if in that sense. And those two players, when they eventually do go, we're probably going to get relegated. Because who's Moyes going to bring in? No one. He won't have the proactiveness or the audacity to do it, as we've seen in the most previous window. And, you know, performance was unacceptable, but West Ham won it 2-1. So through into the next round of the competition, and I'm happy. But I wasn't exactly raving and celebrating beating a non-league team. Behave, seriously. We were outclassed by them. Kidderminster's going to feel like it's a kick in the teeth. Really, they will. But they've got a lot of reason to be happy nonetheless, because they did themselves proud. We didn't do ourselves proud. I don't think Moyes even mentioned the word pride in his interview after the game, and he's right not to. I couldn't be proud of that. If I were a manager, I'd be saying, you got the win, but you didn't deserve it. Let it be a lesson to you. It's like the kid in school that does no work in the group project yet still gets the same grade. It's not good enough. It's unacceptable. And people are saying we've got to face Barcelona and Dortmund possibly in the Europa League. And we're playing like that against a non-league team. My goodness, it's worrying. I'm concerned. I would be concerned if I were a manager. Give the players a rocket up the butts. That's what I say. The only one player in the team that I will credit, well, a couple players, are Fornals and Vlasic. Because I think that Vlasic actually tried. Vlasic actually did try to put a stamp on this game. Fornals did make a difference. Everybody else was below 4 out of 10. And as for everyone who's saying Alex Krall should get a chance, it wouldn't bother me if he went back off to Russia in the summer. I wouldn't miss him. Just because he had 2 good games in the Europa League and a little cameo appearance against Watford. He was really bad. His head's all over the place. He doesn't know what he's doing. Yarmolenko, don't even get me started on him. He was bad. Do you think we can give Kidderminster Yarmolenko just for free and he pays on a non-contract basis? Would Kidderminster fans be okay with that? I don't think he'd even get in your team, honestly. But West Ham are through into the next round. Deserve nothing, but it is what it is. We're so reliant on other teams that we're not self-reliant. Or we're so reliant on other factors that we're not self-sufficient. We have always depended on luck, fate and chance, whether it be to get into Europe or whether it be to stay in the league. And we've actually been quite lucky to get into Europe. If you think about other teams being crap, it's because Spurs bombed it, maybe. We stayed up in 2020 even, because Norwich and Watford were way worse than us. Still, man, it's not good enough. Through into the next round, I want to see who we get. But we really need to stand on our own 2 feet. And there are lessons to be learned from this. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked the video, hit the like button and don't forget to sub for more content. Take care, everybody, and I will see you all soon.